Fastball, slider, Vegas star. This kid has got it all. The case for drafting Kyson Witherspoon. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. I am your host, Boney, one name, all passion, no filter. I've been bleeding green and gold since Ricky Henderson made pitchers sweat and the Bash Brothers turned the Coliseum into a launching pad. This podcast is built on loyalty, accountability, and calling it exactly how we see it. Whether it's a game in Vegas or a rehab stint in Stockton, we cover it like it actually matters. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button like Shea Bangalier smashed that 3-run bomb last night. Today's episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. The 2025 MLB Draft is upon us, July 13th to be exact. And on today's show, we are all in on one name. Kyson Witherspoon, the right-hander from Oklahoma, is exactly the kind of arm the A's should be targeting with the 11th overall pick. Mid-90s heat, nasty slider, Team USA pedigree, and a bulldog mentality. Witherspoon checks every box. We'll break down why he fits the A's perfectly, not just for what he is now, but for what he could become in Vegas by 2028. He's not just a pick. He's a future fan favorite. And today we will tell you why he could be the most exciting arm this franchise has taken since Sonny Gray. We will zoom out to hit the bigger question. What exactly do the A's need to draft this year? Is it all about arms? Are they thin up the middle? Has the system truly recovered from years of talent depletion? Or is this just a draft turning point? We'll dive into the current state of the farm system, how this class fits the long-term Vegas build, and why this draft could be remembered as one that built the A's next great team. We are not stopping at number 11, though. The A's still hold picks 48, 110, and 141. Prime territory for uncovering hidden gems. This draft class is deep, especially in college pitching and athletic middle infielders. We'll take a look at a few potential sleepers who could slide into those slots, including power hitting catchers, toolsy outfielders, and projectable high school arms with big spin rates. Want a future closer? Want a switch hitting second baseman with pop? We've got names, comps, and bold predictions ready to roll. Draft night starts now. Let's get into it. Whenever the A's clock ticks down to number 11 on draft night, fans' hearts will be thumping. Is it him? Yes, A's fans. Scouts are drooling over Kyson Witherspoon, the Sooners' blazing ace. This hard-throwing righty went from unheralded high schooler to one of the top college arms in the 2025 draft. A profile on him raves that he's arguably the best right-handed collegiate pitching prospect in this class. And that kind of praise may be perfect when the A's land in Vegas in 2028. Imagine the A's bullpen or part of the rotation if Witherspoon is available at number 11. A flamethrower whose fastball is pure jet fuel and whose wipeout slider makes hitters look silly. Kyson Witherspoon is full flight for Oklahoma. The Sooners ace mixes mid-90s velocity and a dagger slider to hunt down batters with A-style intensity. From the first pitch at Northwest Florida Junior College to Friday nights at Oklahoma, Witherspoon has dominated. He signed undrafted out of Jacksonville, Florida, but lit up the JUCO ranks, posting a 3.10 ERA with 72 Ks and 69 and 2/3 innings. When he transferred to Oklahoma, things really took off in 2024. As a sophomore, he led OU with a 3.71 ERA and struck out 90 batters in 80 innings, earned first team All-SEC honors. That effort even landed him on Team USA's collegiate national team that summer. He didn't stop there. In 2025, get this, he even got better, going 10-4 with a 2.65 ERA. In the SEC, hands down, the best conference in all of college baseball. And that 2.65 ERA was top 10 nationally. Oh, did I mention a 1.01 whip? He had 124 strikeouts in 95 innings. And again, he made all SEC. Remarkably, he almost never walks guys, one report notes. He didn't walk more than 3 batters in a single outing. He's polished, consistent, and has the kind of stats that make analytically minded scouts drool. This isn't just smoke and mirrors, guys. Witherspoon brings 5 pitches that jump off the page. He regularly unleashes a 4-seam fastball in the mid-90s, touching 99, often running and rising so late it looks unhittable. His slider is already rated a plus pitch, a 60 grade, a hard-breaking weapon that scouts report sometimes squeaks into the low 90s. One pro scout, quote unquote, his cutter and slider both earned 60 grades, with the latter getting up into the low 90s. In short, he's got a true hook that sweeps out of the zone. He's also throws a firm cutter that tightens like a vise, plus a big 12-6 curveball as a change of pace. His changeup is more raw. He barely used it in college, but even that fading pitch flashes some promise. Bullet points, fastball, mid-90s flame, touches 99 with life up in the zone. Elite ride. That ball rides high in the zone with 17-inch vertical life and natural arm side run. That's right, folks. It's like trying to hit a hummingbird with a toothpick. Slider, this is bread and butter, plus rated sweeping missile, sometimes in the low 90s. He has a mid-90s cutter slider hybrid that weaves late, also graded plus by scouts. Large breaking curve as an off-speed change of pace. Changeup, an underused fading pitch with growing feel. He'll get there. Between these weapons, Witherspoon can paint all the corners. He throws with a clean, repeatable delivery and uses his strong legs well. Scouts note, quote unquote, holds his velocity throughout outings, and his command is a plus. He walked only about 6% of batters last year. In short, he's not just raw firepower, he's already quite polished. Baseball America even lists his strengths as a quote-unquote power fastball, 60 grade slider, 60 grade cutter, good control, starter build, and front line starter potential. Yes, really, front line starter potential. The A's front office will love that last part. The A's have built dynasties on guys who throw strikes and pound the zone, and Witherspoon checks both boxes. He's the durable 6'2", 205-pound athlete who pounds the strike zone efficiently. More importantly, he's the kind of pitcher who misses bats and induces grounders. Even conservative analysts at Lone Star Ball write that quote-unquote quality college pitchers with frontline stuff generally don't last to number 12. In other words, if the math works and he's there at 11, the A's would be getting a steal. Just how high is his ceiling? Scouts see a future back-end starter, maybe even mid-rotation ace. One write-up flat out called Witherspoon dominant in all 3 years of his collegiate career, and one of the more polished pitchers in this draft class. Let that sink in. By draft day, he'll be 20 and already more polished than most high schoolers or raw college arms. If you want an MLB comp, Think Walker Buehler, command with strikeout stuff. Or you could even take it a bit further. Think Mason Miller's fireball meets Houston Street's ground ball savvy, all wrapped in an A's friendly over the top delivery. Bottom line, Witherspoon is the type of arm that turns draft night into a party. Right now, Baseball America and MLB Pipeline rank him top 10 in the class. And mocks have him going anywhere from 5 to 13. If he somehow slid to pick 11, you better believe the A's fans would explode. This is not fantasy. The kid's going to throw 99 into the crowd and make folks do a double take every time they see his number on the mound. So, should the A's grab Witherspoon at number 11? In a heartbeat. This guy has all the tools, the gas, the wipeout breaking stuff, the poise to be a difference maker. He's a polished veteran disguised as a college junior, and analysts are salivating. One mock-up write-up even stated that there's nothing to not like about Kyson Witherspoon. With that kind of pedigree, the A's would be crazy not to pounce. Draft day is nearly here. Strap in. With Witherspoon on the radar, these last remaining days of suspense might just be the sweetest in years. What are the A's needs, and what does their roster look like in the next few years? Let's dive into that up next. Let me tell you something. Scouting a future ace like Kyson Witherspoon takes precision, planning, and vision. So does managing your money, and that's exactly why I use Monarch Money. Just like a GM building a World Series contender, Monarch lets you take control of your finances like a pro. Whether you are mapping out savings, building wealth, or just trying to figure out where your paycheck actually went, Monarch puts you in the GM's chair. No front office meddling required. Monarch isn't just another budgeting app. It's your personal financial war room. You can track everything, your checking accounts, investments, spending, savings goals, all in one place. It's clean, easy, powerful, and yeah, kind of addicting. Think of it like StatCast for your wallet. Now, I will be real with you. When I first started using Monarch, I thought I had a grip on my spending. Turns out those $6 quick coffee runs were stacking up faster than a A's bullpen meltdown. Having all my spending in one place helped me clean that up fast, just like a pitching coach spotting a mechanical flaw. Monarch helps you see what's working and what's not, so you can actually build towards something meaningful. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start growing, Monarch's got your back. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Today we are not just drafting the first round, we are drafting the first 4 picks, which are picks number 11, 48, 110, and pick number 141. Well, the A's have a lot more picks than that, but for this show, that's all we are going to cover today. When you have a first round pick, for the most part, you are attempting to get the best player available. But past that, you are addressing needs your ball club needs. And before we can make the next 3 picks, we must first address what the A's need. Let's start with hitting and position players. Let me get my diamond up here, which will give you an idea of who we currently have in the majors, in AAA, AA, high A, and low A. Let's start with the guaranteed contracts, which we only have 3 that go beyond this year. Lawrence Butler is signed through 2031. Austin Wynns is signed through next year, and Brett Rooker is signed through 2029, but does have a vesting option in 2030. So there could be an additional year there for Rooker. Next, let's cover players under team control. Tyler Soderstrom through 2030. Jacob Wilson through 2031. Max Muncy through 2032. Denzel Clark, 2033. JJ Bleday 2029, Zach Geloff, 2029, Nick Kurtz, 2032, Colby Thomas, 2033, potentially Shea Langoliers, 2029. Now, I may have missed a year here or a year there with one player or not. So if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But for the most part, those are pretty darn close. Next, let's look at the players that have had some sort of major league service either last year or this year at one time or another. Brett Harris, who was up with us last year, is now in AAA, has been hurt, is having a hell of a year for the most part. I feel Brett Harris is our best third baseman in the whole organization. I've talked about him on many of occasions. Daryl Hernandez, who was up with the team last year, is in AAA right now, is having a good solid year. Willie McIver, catcher, who just got sent down. And of course, we saw him earlier this year, Logan Davidson, who has been up and down and is now in Las Vegas. Let's talk about prospects. The number you see below the name is what the A's currently have them ranked as a prospect in their organization. Let's start with the outfield, starting in left field. And again, some of these position players that I put in either left field or right field can probably play either corner. Nate Nankill, I'm real high on right now. 2023 seventh round pick out of Fullerton, is having one of the most consistent years at the plate in the entire organization. Hitting 318, 3 bombs, 33 RBIs, currently ranked number 26 in the system. Ryan Lasko, again, with high A Lansing. Second round pick in 2023 out of Rutgers. Center field, Henry Bolte, playing at AA Midland. Second round pick in 2022, straight out of high school, only 22 years old. Big time upside. Your prototype 5-tool player. Leads the whole organization in stolen bases with 31. Actually, to be exact, he is second in the whole organization in stolen bases. Right field, Carlos Cortez, arguably, no, I don't even think arguably, he is the hottest hitter in all of the A's organization right now. Has absolutely been on fire. I actually thought he was going to get the call up yesterday before Colby Thomas. He's been that hot. Rodney Green, fourth round pick last year out of University of California, has some raw talent, strikes out a ton. 93 strikeouts and 255 at-bats. Carlos Pacheco, ranked number 19 in the system, playing in Stockton. A little too early to tell what Pacheco's going to do. As we move around to the infield, I talked a little bit about Brett Harris. Tommy White, number 6 in the whole organization. Defensively, he's had some problems this year. Hitting, he's gotten so much better. And he has that LSU pedigree. Who knows what White's going to do? I like Tommy White a lot. I still think he has some time to go before he comes up. Brennan Malone out of Oregon, 2022 6th round pick. Miles Naylor, young kid, in Stockton right now. Raw power, is striking out a ton. Really don't know what they're going to do. We talked a little bit about Logan Davison earlier. And Max Schumann, obviously, has been a who's been a staple as far as durability and flexibility. Arguably, my favorite prospect in the whole organization is at shortstop, Joshua Kuroda Grauer. Third round pick last year out of Rutgers. Was hurt earlier this year. Got off to a blazing start. Got hurt. When he came back, he didn't quite get it going and went into a little bit of a slump. As of late, has been absolutely on fire. At first base, TJ Schofield Sam. I did a segment about Schofield Sam earlier this year. 2019 12th round pick out of North Park High School. Only 23 years old, man. He's hitting 335, 5 bombs, 37 RBIs. Excellent hitter. and has really been one of the best players for high A Lansing. Expect him possibly go to Midland sometime this year, and maybe in a year or two go to AAA. But I like Schofield Sam a lot. Listed as a third baseman, but again, each of the corner infielders can play. If I have somebody listed at third base, I don't think there's going to be an issue with them moving over to first base. Catcher, Shea Langoliers becomes a free agent in 2029. Not much behind him, right? We saw what Willie McIver can do. I like him. Daniel Susac, first-round pick in 2022 out of University of Arizona. Verdict's still out on him. Having a good year, man. Can't complain at all as far as what Susac's done. 299, 10 bombs, 41 RBIs, OPS 907. He's done it. But it's a little tricky with those Vegas hitters. The guy I like is on the bottom, Dylan Feen. Dylan Feen is a 19-year-old drafted in the 7th round last year out of high school. Guy has some upside. He only has played 21 games in low A Stockton, and after just a miserable start, has really gotten it going lately. Overall, right now, 264, 687 OPS. Nothing to write home about, but considering his start, not bad at all. The biggest concern I have when I'm looking at the A's hitting as far as the future, the big thing that is just glaring is up the middle. I got Geloff and Hernandez, right? Now, granted, Grauer, Camarillo, they can play second as well. I'm not concerned about that. But again, there's not a lot up the middle. Catcher is something I'm concerned about. If we don't re-sign Langoliers in 2029, we got a huge hole at catcher. Depending on how Susac develops over the next couple years. So when I'm looking at potential picks, I'm thinking the first thing I have to address is up the middle, shortstop and second base and catcher. Now, let's switch over to the pitching. So the chart you see in front of you on the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to have left-handed relievers. To the right of that will be left-handed starters. To the right of that, right-handed starters. And of course, you guessed it, to the right of that, right-handed relievers. Now, I don't put much weight on that, starters and relievers. Organizations are constantly trying to make relievers into starters and starters to relievers and vice versa. So we really don't know what a pitcher will end up being. Obviously, when I look at our pitching right now, Jeffrey Springs, who has a team option in 2027. JP Sears, free agent in 2029. Jacob Lopez, I might have 2032 wrong. It may be more like 2033. Sean Newcomb will be a free agent next year. Hogan Harris, we have till 2031. Severino has a player option in 2027. You know he's going to exercise that, and I am hoping we can trade him before then. Jack Perkins, who we just brought up, has looked awesome. Gunnar Hoglund is a big question right now. How serious is his injury, and how long will he be out? As far as bullpen, Mason Miller, free agent in 2030. Mitch Spence, 2030. Alvarado, 2033. JT Ginn, 2032. And Justin Sterner, 2033. What glares out right now is bullpen, right? What else is new? JT Ginn is looked up and down, but is he a starter? Is he going to be a bullpen guy? We don't know. Gunnar Hoglund, how serious is that injury? And as far as left-handed pitching, we don't have any, right? Sean Newcomb's gone next year. Hogan Harris till 2031. Doesn't really do anything for me. Jeffrey Springs, we're going to have next year, and we'll see what happens in 2027. JP Sears has been okay. 2029. Jacob Lopez, can't really depend on that. Who do we have coming up? Let's look at the left-handers. We really don't have any relievers anywhere in the system, even worth putting on the board that I can notice right now. Brady Basso, right? Again, another injury, along with Ken Waldachuk. Who knows? I don't know when they'll be back. I don't know how they will respond when they are back. Will Johnston, a prospect, 2023, 13th round pick out of Texas A&M. Hasn't been the best since he got the call up to AAA. Gage Jump, our number one prospect in the whole system, has been dynamite, right? He's in AA right now, out of LSU. And for the most part, he's been good. He's been real good. But when will Jump be ready? I think Jump still needs another year or two before the A's can call him up. Again, depending on how he develops. He's only 21 years old. I don't want to rush these guys. Wei and Lin, same thing. Another great prospect who just got promoted to AA. He spent most of the year in low A Stockton. Mason Barnett, on the right hand of your screen, who we received in the Lucas Ursay trade last summer. 2022 third round pick by the Royals out of Auburn, has been a disappointment, is having a rough year. Luis Morales. Everyone's been talking about Luis Morales. I'm not sold on him. When Morales has success, he looks dominating. His stuff is electric, but consistency is an issue. When he got brought up to AAA, I said he will get rocked, and he has. 5.34 ERA, 32 innings pitched, 27 hits. He came out of the bullpen last appearance for the first time. I wonder if they may try to make Morales a closer. He has that type of electric stuff. Cade Morris has been a surprise. As of late, his outings have been dynamite in Vegas. We received him last summer as well from the Mets in the Paul Blackburn trade. 2023 third-round pick out of Nevada. Joey Estes. What happened to Estes? He's been okay. He's been very, very okay in the minors at AAA Vegas, 4.46. Osvaldo Bido. There's another one. Chen Zhang in Midland. Hasn't had the best year. Zhu Chen Sha, again, like Wei and Lin, just got promoted to Midland. Needs some time. Steven Echevarria, high school kid. We drafted him third round, 2023. Has had his tough time in high A, but again, only 19 years old. Cole Miller, another youngster, 20 years old. Drafted fourth round, 2023 out of high school. We got some prospects. But the issue with prospects is that is exactly what they are. Prospects. We don't know. I am concerned about pitching. There is nobody on this list that stands out. Everybody on this list is a question mark. Hoglund, hurt. Perkins, I like. He's only had 2 outings so far. Severino can't leave soon enough. Jacob Lopez has shown flashes. Sears hasn't been great. Springs has showed flashes. Newcomb, see ya. Mason Miller hasn't had the best of years. JT Ginn, up and down. There is nobody on this list that I'm like, okay, we could depend on that. So when I'm looking at picks 48, 110, and 141, first and foremost, I need a left-handed arm. We have nothing as far as a left-handed arm. I need to address up the middle. I need to address second base and shortstop. Is there anybody out there? And finally, I need another pitcher. So with the next 3 picks, I got to go 2 pitchers. So with picks 48, 110, and 141, what is glaring is left-handed pitching, catcher, and middle infielder. In other words, I want the best available out of those 3 positions. Let's go get them. Up next. It's MLB Draft season, baby. Hope, hype, and high heat. And nothing makes the summer sports grind more thrilling than FanDuel. Whether you are locked in on A's prospects like Kyson Witherspoon or sweating out a ninth-inning comeback from your fantasy team, FanDuel takes the drama to a whole new level. It's like adding a 100-mile-per-hour fastball to your nightly viewing. It just hits different. FanDuel isn't just betting, it's baseball with stakes. You are already following every pitch, every trade rumor, every two-out rally, so why not turn that passion into action? While your friends are sunburning at the beach or missing breaking news, you are in the zone, dialed in with real-time odds, live bets, and same-game parlays that can swing like a slider on the black. Personally, I've been using FanDuel to track my matchups during A's games, and it completely changes how I watch. Even when the standings get ugly, it keeps things exciting. You never know when that Brett Rooker bomb or late inning strikeout turns into a win. Not just on the scoreboard, but in your wallet. So if you're watching anyway, why not sweat a little more? New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. I just stepped out of the war room, and let me tell you, the air in there was thick enough to cut with a rosin bag. Phones buzzing, scouts pacing, cross-checkers scribbling, and a whiteboard that looked like a pitching lab exploded on it. But after hours of wrestling with upside, signability, and that irresistible itch for velocity, we made our move. We already secured Kyson Witherspoon at number 11, a frontline bulldog with a fireballs mentality. That was the first swing in our draft plan. But now comes the next act. We have covered the needs for the A's position by position. The A's have 3 picks left that I am actually covering on this show. 3 golden chances to shape the future. And here's the part that's going to light a fire under this fan base. We're taking 3 more pitchers. Yeah, you heard that right. Not a shortstop, not a corner bat, not even a center fielder with plus makeup and a 60-grade smile. We are going arm heavy, baby. Why? Because pitching wins championships. Because Vegas doesn't wait for arms to develop at their own pace. Because if you don't load up on power, polish, and pitchability right now, you will be playing from behind forever. These next 3 picks, they are different. Each one brings something unique to the mound. One's got the gas, one's got the funk, and one might just have the left-handed swagger to break bats and break hearts. We're betting on traits, upside, and mound presence. You want to know who? Stick around. The future of the A's rotation is about to come into focus. And let's just say, if you liked Witherspoon at 11, you're going to love what's coming up next. Pick number 48, Marcus Phillips, right-handed pitcher, Tennessee. Let's start with the fireworks. Marcus Phillips isn't just a power arm. He's a walking flamethrower factory. We're talking about a 6'4", 250-pound righty built like a defensive end with a fastball that's already torching 101 miles per hour. That's not gas, that's rocket fuel. But what makes him dangerous isn't just the velocity, it is the untapped potential underneath. Right now, his heater gets outs by generating weak contact, but sharpen the edges, add deception, tighten the slider, trust the changeup, and you've got a front line monster. You want a comp? I'll give you one. Picture Sonny Gray in his early A's days, but with a weight room subscription and a few extra notches on the radar gun. It's all there. Raw power, slider bite, a frame built to carry innings. This isn't just a bullpen weapon. This is a future Friday night starter for a contending team in Vegas. And if you are trying to build a rotation that can scare lineups in October, you better start with a guy who throws Thunder. Pick 110. Landon Bilesheets, left-handed pitcher, Arkansas. You want that lefty heat? We found it. Bilesheets is 6'3", 225 of southpaw sauce who brings big SEC pedigree and a bulldog mentality. His fastball sits between 92 and 94 and flirts with 98. Slider, a filthy back foot breaker that sends righties ducking and lefties shaking their heads back to the dugout. This dude lives to embarrass hitters. Think JP Sears, but with a little more gas and a lot more bite. The deception is real. The mechanics are tight. The strikeouts are loud. Sure, the changeup and command still need a little spit shine, but let's not act like this isn't a future rotation piece or high leverage weapon in the making. If he clicks, he could be closing games, or better yet, starting playoff ones. He's the kind of guy that fans fall in love with. Gritty, nasty stuff, and doesn't blink under pressure. Lastly, pick 141. Nelson Keljo, left-handed pitcher, Oregon State. Here's your sleeper. The kind of arm that sneaks up on people and ends up blowing through lineups by 2027. Keljo is a big body lefty, 6'4", 226 pounds. And when he's on, he looks like a freight train coming downhill. His fastball has ride. His slider has tilt. And while the changeup's still in the lab, the movement and deception scream future weapon. The delivery is a little funky, but that's part of the charm. It's what makes hitters uncomfortable. He's not built like a classic pitcher. He's built like a problem. You want comps? Think Tyler Rogers' deceptive delivery meets a college workhorse's frame. There's real swing and miss potential here. If he tightens the mechanics and smooths out the finish, the A's might have just found a late round gem who can flip a lineup and flip a game script. Why this draft class hits different? Let's call it what it is. The A's just went 4 for 4 with arms that can change an organization. We already talked about Witherspoon. Phillips, future rotation horse with triple-digit heat. Bilesheets, high floor lefty with strikeout swagger. And Keljo, deception kingpin with nasty upside. This is how you build a pitching factory. You don't just hope for arms. You draft dudes. You stack velocity, deception, and attitude until hitters don't know what's coming. The A's didn't draft safe. They drafted dangerous. And now the rest of the league should be nervous. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen today, especially on a day we are breaking down why Kyson Witherspoon should be wearing green and gold. For your second listen, keep the momentum rolling with the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. It's local analysis with a national edge. So whether you are tracking draft buzz, scoreboard chaos, or just hate watching a division rival, Game Night has you covered. Check it out on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.